Boy, oh boy, oh boy. We've got so many topics tonight. Diddy was raided by Homeland Security. Trump's bond was slashed. And the topic of the evening, Candace Owens. We're going to give ourselves 90 seconds and then we are going to start the conversation this evening. Here's our music, ladies, 90 seconds. Welcome to Black Women Making Money. We are the home of the upwardly mobile Black woman. For exclusive content and invitations to our Inner Circle Zoom meetings, which happen on a monthly basis, you can sign up for free for our email newsletter at bwmakingmoney.com. That's bwmakingmoney.com. Ladies. Oh my goodness. There is so much happening right now. It's a trip. So fast forward to what we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to talk about Candace Owens. We're also going to mention just really quickly about Donald Trump. And the man must have like a leprechaun in his John or something like that, because the man is just lucky with 9 lives, right? But Puffy, P. Diddy, I call him Puffy because that's how I know him from back in the day. His home in Los Angeles was raided, apparently by Homeland Security. Ladies, let's watch the news report from a couple of hours ago.
Department of Homeland Security conducting a raid at a house in Holmby Field Hills, believed to be connected to Sean Combs, the rapper and music executive, perhaps being linked to a sex trafficking investigation. Let's go live to Stu Mandel up in Skyfox right now for more. Stu, what do we know?
Yeah, I heard her say you were live. Copy.
All right, there you see Skyfox overhead of this home where, again, we are seeing Department of Homeland Security investigators in this home now. Let's go to Haley Winslow, who's live on the ground right there. Haley, what do we know?
Sandra, this is going to turn into a huge scene that is going to be an all-day thing, and it involves, yes, P. Diddy. The home is actually registered to Bad Boy Films, which is a division of Bad Boy Entertainment, basically his company, and the home's registered to that and to his daughter. Now, from Skyfox, Stu up there, he got some shots of a few people coming out of the home. Those people have been detained. Now, we're trying...
Yikes, ladies. Oh, my goodness. People have been saying that this is going to be the year of reckoning for people, and started off with Cat Williams, and we have all of this happening. Hey, Jay Antoinette, hello. But ladies, we are watching the fact that Puffy Diddy, his home in Los Angeles was raided earlier today. And yeah, um, let's keep watching this for a second.
Trying to still connect the dots. We do have some sources on scene here that we're getting this information from. We were actually the first.
Damn. I'm sorry they have the Fox 11 thing. I wish you all could see this a lot more clearly. They got the boys, and they're not in blue. This is green. This is the military over here.
Ones here with about 30 different law enforcement vehicles at least. There are 3 Bearcats on scene.
Damn, look at that. Oh my goodness. They are serious. Hey, Sabrina saying, yikes. They are serious. Oh, damn. People in Hollywood have to be running scared right now. I think people are gonna be moving to Dubai or something like that. They're gonna leave everything in California and get out of Dodge. These people are not playing. Wow. I hadn't seen this before, so I'm like literally watching it live with you here. I had just heard about it as I was coming on this evening.
Here, this just all unfolded, Sandra, I would say less than 10 minutes ago. We got here even before the crime scene tape came up. So we're just down the hill.
Well, somebody called the press. They said they got here before the crime scene came up. That somebody called the press. Now you see the young lady over here to the left. I don't know if this is one of Diddy's daughters or somebody like that, but look, everybody being detained up in this bill. Oh my goodness. Whatever was happening, I mean, Cassie's lawsuit was bad enough, but it must be really bad. To have, I mean, they came out with like they were not playing up in there. They went in there like they were expecting a battle. Hey Jay, you're saying again, he's discussing. I hope he and everyone involved are thrown under the jail. I agree. Hey, Tuesday Adams, good to see you. Notary World's in the building. Diddy is on a private plane. He is on his way to the Caribbean island. Also, Russell Simmons was served papers today in Bali. He was. Damn, someone paid a processor server to go there. Oh, damn. Oh my goodness. The rabbit hole goes very deep. Yes. This is serious, though. These people are not playing. Whatever was happening, it must have been really bad. Wow. They must have ticked off the wrong person. They had to have made the wrong person mad. They told the wrong person no or something like that, because I mean the hammer is coming down on these individuals. Hey, Dawn to Earth, good evening. All right, let's keep watching.
Hill, if you look up this street where Tony is right now to the right, you'll see one of those Bearcats and law enforcement. And on the other side of those bushes, basically, is that home that is registered to Bad Boy Films, which is part of Bad Boy Entertainment. And the home in particular is registered not only to Bad Boy Films, but to one of P. Diddy's daughters. Now we are.
Okay, so I wonder if this is the daughter here, because see, these men put things in your name, ladies, and then you end up on the ground hemmed up and he's on a private plane, like Notary World is saying. And you end up going to prison. Hell no.
Are hearing from law enforcement sources that this involves sex trafficking, but we don't yet know to what extent or the details about that. But you better believe we will be on this all day, keeping you updated with the very latest.
If TMZ is camped out there, oh my goodness. Well, Diddy may not be returning back to the United States unless he is brought back like Sam Bankman-Fried was. This is bad. They were not joking. Women are tired of being abused. More men are going to face consequences for their actions. I guess so. Wow. This is really interesting. If I had thought about it, I would have pulled it up. I don't know why, but I was in preparation for this evening. I, believe it or not, watched a Daily Wire interview between Michael Knowles, if you all are familiar with Daily Wire, and Pearl, the Pearl, right? I was like, I don't know why I'm watching this, but I'm going to watch it. And she was continuously talking about the fact that women lie, women file for divorce 80% of the time, and we lie and things like that. And look, like you're saying, Pink Orchid, was you were writing this, it just got caught in my head. Like, I'm not necessarily believe all women, but I believe 99% of what I hear. And a lot of stuff that happens is never reported on. It's never reported on. So, it's not only that women are tired of being abused, it's also that these law enforcement agencies are not able to sweep it under the rug anymore. They're not. Diddy left his sons to fend for themselves. I feel bad for the sons, but like, whew, this isn't good. I mean, if they were involved in this sex trafficking, then they have to go to jail as well. Now, up until the age of 18, I can understand them saying, "Hey, I was under my father's roof. I had to do XYZ." After 18, you might have to cut things off and fend for yourself. Or now you're fending for yourself, about to go to prison, you know? Um, what did you walk in on, honey? Diddy's house being raided by Homeland Security. Homeland Security. I thought it was the FBI. No, Homeland Security. That's like saying that the Marine Corps went up in there. I mean, come on. Homeland Security? That means you are doing a lot of federal stuff, trafficking people all over the place. Damn. The red pill ideology was destined to end. Well, I don't know if it's going to end. That's part of what I'm going to say tonight, because my Nostradamus hat is on. And I am predicting that Candace Owens is going to be the new Kevin Samuels. I am. I thought about it this weekend, and then I was like, And then I listened to a couple of things, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm right. So, and I wasn't going to do this commentary, except somebody was in Mocha Mommy's. Somebody mentioned me in Mocha Mommy's comments when she was talking about Candace Owens, and more importantly about the Republicans, and they said they were looking for my commentary about it. So here it is. Coming soon. Candace Owens said she's taking off 2 weeks. Coming soon, the new Kevin Samuels is going to be Candace Owens. So, and we're going to talk about it tonight. But, we're going to talk about this first. Diddy's son Justin was in handcuffs. He was accused of sex trafficking as well. Don't feel bad. Yeah, let's go back here. Let's go back to, they had the, this is crazy. I wish they branded their stuff, and I don't blame them. Here it is. They got him here all handcuffed. Look at that. Damn.
I would say less than 10 minutes ago.
They are serious. They are serious. They were like, hell no. They probably had all sorts of guns drawn on him and everything. Damn. Whew. You think you hit the genetic lottery jackpot? Nope. Just because somebody is rich and famous does not mean that we should be jealous of anybody that's around them. Because let me tell you something. I am so happy to be sitting in my little house with peace because the popo ain't coming for me. But if I'll be honest right now, there's some people that are saying beyond Diddy, there are people that are saying Jay-Z and Beyonce better watch out. There are people that are saying that there are other individuals in the entertainment industry that should watch out. I mean, this is bad. Dawn Earth is saying, I just don't understand why people don't think that they will eventually be caught 5, 10, 20 years down the road. Exactly. I feel bad for his twin daughters. Their mom died, and now this. Not only did their mom die, some people accuse Diddy of doing something to her. It's awful. Kim Porter. If Diddy flees or goes to jail, those twins are kind of orphaned. Yeah, they are. Even if they are 18, that's a lot to put on an 18-year-old. Especially 18-year-old, an 18-year-old that grew up with a certain amount of access and a certain amount of luxury, you know. That's a lot. That's very different from the girl that grew up lower middle class and knows how to thug it out on the street. I don't know how old they are. If they're, I don't know, they're 15, 16, 18. I don't know anything about their grandparents, about other family members. It's tough. Yeah, definitely Jay-Z. I've heard Dr. Dre. I've heard things about him. Ice Cube, I haven't heard about. But yeah, they all better watch out. They had all better watch out. And their wives and their adult children. This is no joke. And Diddy was running around doing a lot of stuff for decades. Decades. He was just crazy. Pink Orchid is saying, me too, I feel bad for the twins, but their mom's death was suspicious. She died of some type of pneumonia. Nobody believes that. He should have been in jail. A lot of people think so. Dawn Earth is saying, the one thing I'm thinking of is how this is going to be, sorry, I'm going to try to read this again. The one thing I'm thinking of is how this is going to put a bigger target on the backs of Black women. They're going to blame us for the downfall of the OGs in the music industry. Yes, they are. So the best way to move forward is to do my famous 4, get your technical skills, your soft skills, your networks, and your resources together. Follow your Second Amendment. Get your concealed carry if you need it. As best as you can, do not live in an impoverished area. You know, put some distance between you and that. And just have your head on a swivel. I don't do hashtag all over here because I don't believe in that. But I'm watching people closely. I don't care how long I've known them. And don't just trust, don't men. Distrust some Black women as well. Do not just trust anybody. Don't, just because it's a Black woman, there are now Black women who are joining Black men in order to harm other Black women. There are a lot of stories like this coming out now, where there'll be 4 men and 2 women, and they'll gang up on one girl. Do not. If you have daughters, be especially careful with your teenage girls and your girls that are in their early 20s. We have too many young Black women being taken out by 4 men and 2 women that want to prove that they're down with the men. So yeah, be cautious of everybody. And I'm not saying, oh, then just trust WASP. Y'all know me. Like, look, have your head on a swivel for everybody. Have your head on a swivel for everybody. But this is no joke. Hey, Malika. Hello. Diddy's mom is still alive. She lives with him. She better watch out too. And let me say this. I would find it hard to believe if she didn't know. I would find it very hard to believe if you have a mother that lives with you and that is also very involved in your business, which I understand Diddy's mother was very involved in his business and she didn't know. I would find it hard to believe. If I were on the jury, I'd have to see a whole lot of proof. That's just me, you know. Snoop Dogg better chill also. I feel like he's chopping at the he's on the chopping block also. He could be running around with Death Row Records. Absolutely. They all going down. Jay-Z is next. He abused Foxy Brown. She's deaf in one ear after an accident with a speaker. I don't believe that. Dr. Dre abused DJ. Yes, he did abuse that woman and he never, ever paid for it. Um, that DJ Barnes, yeah, and apologized so he could get an icon award. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Dr. Dre, that's the reason why I don't have the Beats by Dre headphones. I refuse to buy them. I don't care how good they are. I refuse to buy them because Dr. Dre was a terror between that DJ Barnes. I forgot her first name, but I know exactly who you're talking about. And Michelle and everything that was happening at Death Row Records. Yeah, Dr. Dre, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'm surprised. I am surprised I am not hearing more Black men say this is racism, white supremacy, or this is racism. I'm surprised. Maybe they are saying it. And maybe, look, y'all know I'm not on social media all day. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just not in those certain rooms. I'm surprised I'm not hearing it more. Thank goodness I'm not hearing it more. But yeah, all of them had better watch out. And the women who love them, quote unquote. Because trust me, there were women who were complicit in these things as well. For every Jeffrey Epstein, there was a Ghislaine Maxwell. For every Jeffrey Epstein, there was a Ghislaine Maxwell. Women participate in these things. That's why I'm trying to tell you, if you have young daughters, if you have sisters, cousins, things like that, tell them not only to distrust men, but to distrust these women as well. Because it's my understanding that Ghislaine Maxwell was the one that was roping these women in to be models and then, you know, being the madam. And for all of these men, there's a Ghislaine Maxwell. The mother, the sister, some of these people are the wives, the longtime girlfriends, the longtime mistresses, the business partners. And I understand if a woman is like, look, it was consensual, we did our thing, whatever. It was consensual. It wouldn't be me, but have at it. But I believe there were a lot of women who were like, oh gosh, what's her name? I could see her now. Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga went into, and Lady Gaga is talented, undeniably talented. The girl can sing and the girl can write. And according to her story, she laid out the masters for her first album. And the producer said, if you don't sleep with me, I will burn your music. You can go and hear her having these discussions. So, and she did it and she cries about it. But how many people had their careers held over their head, their music, their acting careers, or just plain forced? And everybody knew it and it was an open secret. I'm just imploring you, because I did get this talk from my mother and grandmother when I was younger to not trust anybody, including women, because women will set you up. They will. Amethyst is in the building. Of course she knew, but many people turn a blind eye when money is involved. Yeah, they do. You refuse to buy the headphones as well. I know I do. I don't care how good they are. Pink Orger is saying, I can't, the feeds got the white men. The feds got the white men first, Jeffrey and Harvey. Yeah, they certainly did. I think there are more out there than that. But yeah. Um, hey Mokomami, I saw your video from yesterday, and because somebody mentioned me in your comments, I was like, well, let me come and talk about Candace Owens. So that's the reason why I'm here. And yes, my Nostradamus is saying she is going to be the next Kevin Samuels. We're going to talk about that in a second. But for now, Black women need to be careful who we give our money, energy, and brain space to. That is absolutely correct. There's a lot happening right now to get you distracted, to get you off your game, things like that. I want us as upwardly mobile Black women to be aware. We're watching the news, we're watching social media, we're watching what's happening around us, but do not get distracted because there's a lot of stuff right now, from Candace Owens to Donald Trump to Diddy to some of the other things that are forthcoming over the next few months, that's going to distract us. And we have got to be like in the game. We have got to be getting our resources together and our networks together if we're going to make it. We had this discussion last week about 2039, 2040. Things are about to do, there's going to be some massive shifts. And you may say, oh, that's 16 years away. Look, it's going to be here before you know it. Do you have the money or not? Do you have your coins together or not? If you need to leave the United States because the US is starting to act a little funky, do you have the money or not? And unlike this country where you have a whole lot of people running over the border, you can't run into somebody else's country with no paperwork and no way of making income. So, yeah, Lady Gaga. If you feel like looking for it, then definitely go and listen to her story, where she talks about that. I like Lady Gaga. I'm a fan of her music. I'm a fan of her. I've never heard anybody say anything bad about Lady Gaga. So it really, even if she were a bad person, I would not want that to happen to anybody. But especially with somebody who seems like they are a decent person, breaks my heart. And now, besides Lady Gaga, we look at all of our heroes. Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey married that older gentleman at Sony. What else did she have to do? We're talking about talented women as well, not the untalented. Not that I want it to happen to the untalented, but when you're talking about a talented woman and now looking back, you're like, I wonder what she had to do in order to make it. Diana Ross, having an affair with Berry Gordy, it's tough. Dawn the Earth saying, a few years ago, I watched a woman talk about how after being pimped, she became a finder. She would lure young women who were single mothers from shelters in church. She looked for the vulnerable. Yes, that's what people do. That's what they do. And most likely that woman who was the finder, she was abused so much that she just wanted the abuse to stop. So oftentimes the abuser will say, you go find 3 other people to take your place and I'll stop abusing you. And the abuse goes on for so long and is so bad that they just find other young women to put in their place. That's the reason why I want you to warn the young women in your family. The number one thing is to make sure that you have a fence of protection around the young women in your family, they're not invincible. They're absolutely not invincible. So, um, how sad. I know there are countless more women like her. Yep. You can't even trust your family members. That's the truth. Hey, Tam. Diane and old green eyes. Yep. Absolutely. All right. So let's talk. I was going to talk about Trump for a second here. So the news with Trump is that, I swear, Trump must, like I said, Trump must have a leprechaun in his shorts or something like that. So Trump had this bond that was for $454 million in New York. And he was trying to reach out to insurance companies in order to like pay the bond for him, right? And he went to 30 insurance companies, and 30 of them said no, that they would not pay this bond, that the highest bond that they usually pay is 100 million. And probably most of them were trying to squirm out of it anyway, because they didn't want to do it. And then Fox News started asking like billionaires, quote unquote billionaires, like that guy, Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank. Hey, you want to pay this bond for Trump? And he's like, no. He didn't say it like that, but that's basically what happened. So today was supposed to be the day that Trump was supposed to either pay this $454 million bond, or his properties in New York State were going to start being seized in order to take over, in order to pay for this bond. Wow. Trump goes to court earlier today, and the judge cuts the bond from $454 million to $175 million. He did an appeal, and it worked. And then he also did an IPO earlier today for Truth Social, and apparently it has a $6 billion valuation. Who knows what it's going to end up being, but Trump, the guy must have a leprechaun in his shorts, because between Bonnie Willis, I call her Fanny, but y'all call her Bonnie, down in Georgia, and her mess, and now New York, and all the other things that Trump has wiggled his way out of, y'all. Whew. Trump. Yes, $6 billion. Now, people are saying, who knows what kind of a lockup period Trump has with his shares? Who knows, any of the other intricacies he has with regards to the $6 billion valuation. If it'll stay $6 billion, usually things IPO really hot, and then over the next few months, they reduce in value, the shares reduce in value, things like that. And apparently he owns 60 something percent of Truth Social, and it's not profitable, which I don't think anyone would expect it to be profitable. The question is it going to get more people using it on a daily basis, as Trump runs for the presidency, especially if he wins the presidency, and if he wins the presidency and he selects to only use Truth Social in order to get content out, then it could end up going up. But we'll see what happens. So hey, Victoria, you'll have to catch the replay. This sounds like it's going to be good. Hopefully. No, this is white male privilege. Look, I need a leprechaun in my skirt. I'm gonna say it right now. I need a leprechaun in my skirt. So, okay, let's talk about the topic of the day. Let's talk about Candace. So, most of you know that Candace Owens was fired, right? She was fired from the Daily Wire. And I'm going to start off with just telling you my overall thoughts about Candace Owens. I've said it on here before. I'm going to say some positives about her, and I'm going to say some negatives about her. The positives are that I agree with a lot of her viewpoints. Not all, but I do agree with a lot of her viewpoints. Um, there are things that she says about the Black family today that is true. There are things that she says about um, single parent households today that's true. There are things she says about the Black community and the Black literacy rates that's true, right? There are also a lot of things she says that's not true or that's embellished or that's totally incorrect. Diamond Dave did a great job on Saturday talking about the profit incentive to lie to you. And one of the things that she, Candace, uh, keeps misquoting is how welfare started. And welfare was started in order to kick the Black man out of the house. Well, that's not true. Welfare was started as a way to help white widows uh, during the Great Depression and after World War II to be able to like live if and when their husbands died. In fact, Black women were oftentimes left out of the welfare system until we fought for it and we fought for it and we got it in the 1960s. So, but again, there are things that I agree with Candace on. There are things that we as a Black community can do better. And then there are things that I disagree with her on. Uh, you know, so I also I also believe that Candace has done a great job leveling up her look. Look, I can give a person their props. I don't know who she's hired now over the past year to do her hair and to do her makeup, but it is well worth it because she needed, especially as a public person as she was, she needed somebody to help her level up her look. And she's done that and it's paying off in spades, right? The other thing about Candace is, y'all know my famous four. She's done three of my famous four. She's got phenomenal technical skills. The woman can talk. The woman can communicate. She and Barack Obama are a masterclass in how to communicate, how to persuade. If any of you are looking for ways in order to communicate, in order to persuade large crowds, in order to persuade people through media, those two are it. Whether you're Republican or you're Democrat, it doesn't matter. Looking at the way they actually effectively communicate, both of them have amazing technical skills when it comes to mastering communication. Candace Owens has done a great job with building her community, building her network. Now, she pissed off some of that when she went after the Jays. She she really did. I hope she knows what she's doing. But for a lot of the people that were following her before are going to continue following her. And because she has had her Blackest Week effort now, she's got a whole crop of new people who are going to be coming in order to follow her as well. So you can't cancel her. You can't cancel her. I know a lot of people think she got an N-word wake-up call and all of that. No, no, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Um, I think she'll be just fine. Now, I agree with Diamond Dave, and I even thought this myself, even before Diamond Dave mentioned it. I was like, boy, she's working to the very end of her pregnancy. What's going on? Diamond Dave was funny. He said she looked like she had bills to pay. And I was like, woof. But she did, right? So this is the other thing. Just because she's married to this man who is a multimillionaire or family is a billionaire or whatever, don't assume she don't have bills to pay. Don't assume that she can't just not work. The woman is one of the hardest working women in social media. Some people say she wants attention. Some people think she has bills to pay, etc. I don't know. But yeah, I told you about three of my famous four that she has. So she's got her technical skills, she's got her networks, and she's got her resources, hopefully, with this husband. She makes should be making great money. Hopefully she's saved some of it. Hopefully she's invested in the right way, etc. Where I believe she messes up is in her soft skills, in her interpersonal skills. And from what I understand, and I have been following Candace since about 2019, 2018, 2019. And there are people who have talked about Candace behind the scenes. And everybody has the same story about Candace Owens, that she is a snake. Everybody has the same story. So when everybody has the same story, the exact same story, I tend to believe them. So yes, I think that Candace Owens is grimy. But here's the thing. She's grimy with people that she knows that's in the same conservative social media industry that she's in. I'm not in that industry. I could care less. Therefore, it doesn't matter to me. But for people who are in there, God bless you. Candace Owens is also a case study in monkey branching. We've talked about this before as well, ladies. She's a case study in monkey branching. She started off just like everybody else. She started off as a liberal. Then she moved to Republican. Then she moved to Prager. No. It wasn't Prager University. It was Charlie Kirk's organization. She monkey branched to Turning Point USA. Then she monkey branched to PragerU. Then she monkey branched to the big times, which was the Daily Wire. Now we're going to see where she ends up. If she's going to monkey branch to Elon Musk, which I don't think would be a good idea, or if she's going to monkey branch to Patrick Bet-David, or if she's going to monkey branch to Tucker Carlson, who is under Elon Musk, which I don't think is a good idea, but okay, or if she's truly going to be independent. I don't know. I do know this. I believe that Candace Owens is going to be the new Kevin Samuels. I know. Yikes. But let's talk about it. So people call her Candace. Yeah. Look, people call her a lot of things. Here is what I want us to get from it, though. I want us to take what we can learn from her and leave the rest. Whatever it is you need to learn from her, accept that, leave the rest. When I say she's going to be the new Kevin Samuels, I do mean that with regards to, I believe she is going to position herself as the woman who's going to help save the Black family. And I think there are two groups of people that are going to be following her. It's going to be these conservative Black men and quote unquote conservative Black men. And I'm going to play one of these Black men for you. And I was just like, oh my gosh, really? Conservative Black men. And the second group, y'all not going to like this, but a lot of divestors, I think, are going to be following Candace Owens. Oh, she's married to a white man. I could get married to a white man too. And I'm not saying all divestors, and you know me. I say date and marry the best man for the job. I do not believe that you should only date Black men. But yes, I do believe that Candace Owens is going to cobble together some of the white people that she had previously with a new collection of Black people. And there's no money in Black politics. There isn't. Unless you're doing social justice reform, there's no money in Black politics. So yes, I believe that she is going to be the next Kevin Samuels, and I believe it's going to be a great big distraction for all of us, especially as upwardly mobile Black women. We have too much going on in this economy and in this society. And here's the thing, I've said this to you before. Candace Owens only talks to Black people and at Black people. I am looking for the person who is going to take the things that we're looking for and help craft legislation and bring it back to the Republican Party. And Candace Owens isn't that person. Candace Owens is not that person. We need better Black families. Great. How are you going to legislate that? What are you going to do? What kind of environment are you going to give people in order to do that? We need to fix the literacy rates. Great. Have you ever heard Candace Owens talk about any legislation she's going to put together in order to help the literacy rates, including, even if she said, I'm going to join Moms for Liberty and do some things with Moms for Liberty. And I mean, Moms for Liberty is, some people feel like it's a crazy organization, but there's nothing there with regard to Candace Owens. I know a lot of people love the way that she speaks. She can be very enticing, a lot like a Black preacher. But when you look behind it, when you really look behind it, unfortunately, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. So what I want to do is I want to say a couple other things. I'm going to read your comments as well, and then I'm going to play something for you. So she had her Blackest Week ever a couple of weeks, right? A couple of weeks ago. And when things started out with her Blackest Week ever, and then she went on to Fresh and Fit, and she went on to Joe Budden. Before she went on to the Breakfast Club, I was like, this looks like payola. This looks like she is paying to get out in front of Black media. And I honestly thought, because of the shakeup at the Republican National Convention, the RNC, many of you may not know this, but the RNC got rid of its old president and put in Donald Trump's daughter-in-law and somebody else. I can't remember who it is. I thought maybe the RNC was quietly trying to make a play for Black men. Honestly, I did. I was like, oh, this is payola. She's paying to be on these podcasts and to be a part of delivering the quote unquote Black vote. But after the Breakfast Club and after what happened at the Daily Wire, and listening to Diamond Dave's commentary, I was like, oh, this is entertainment. And I knew that before. I knew the entertainment piece before, but it's solidified for me now. It's solidified for me. So the entertainment is in the new Kevin Samuels. The entertainment is not in true Black politics. It's not. It's not. So let's see here. I'm going to read through your comments, and then I want you all to hear this guy that was on this podcast, and we'll take it from there. So Pink Orchid is saying, I saw a video from Candace Owens stating that abortion is not a viable option for R-ing. I knew where she was going after that. Yeah, I mean, that whole Daily Wire crew, they are taking it to the extreme. They really are. They really are. And I've heard Candace Owens mention the maternal health care crisis, but I don't see her giving a care about it. Like, she mentions it, but it doesn't seem like something that she's really ready to have a conversation about or fight for as a public figure. Hey, True Mystique. The chief descriptor. Yeah, she is. A black woman as a new Kevin Samuels, she would blow up and red pill black men would love her. Well, I'm going to play a guy that was talking about her. And yeah, and there are a lot of, unfortunately, black women divestors that I think will love her as well. I do. I do. I heard um, Jason Black was saying, "Oh, black women aren't going to want to follow her." I was like, "No, no. I think there are a lot that will. I think they will." She's going to say the black family, but but she talks continuously, true mystique, about the black family. She talks about the black family. So Candace is already trying to pander to black men. Yes, she is. She has been trying for years to do it. And black men follow Candace more than black women do, which is why it was a good thing that she leveled up her look. I mean, she really has done a great job of leveling up her look. And they like the fact that she doesn't wear weaves, quote unquote. I mean, now she's adding hair in now, right? Um, but she doesn't have the blonde wigs, they say, and she doesn't have crazy eyelashes, even though we could tell that she's putting eyelashes on and, things like that. Um, there's a certain type of black man that claims they want a conservative woman, yet if there was a conservative woman standing in front of them, they would claim that she is boring or they don't like her or whatever. The truth is they want to turn the stripper into the conservative woman, you know. Um, she's never invested anything as it pertains to activism for black people, but she's here for black people. Okay, they could give their money to this chick. I'm just going to laugh. Yeah. Yeah. Any fool who believes her and thinks she's authentic, God bless them. Yeah. A lot of people, though, true mystique, a lot of people think she's authentic. I don't know if it's the overwhelming majority, but she has enough of a fan base and she's bringing over more than enough people. And here's another thing that I will say about this, because Candace Owens has talked a lot about the wrongdoing during the deaths of certain black men, from George Floyd to Eric Gardner to, I heard she said some things about Tamir Rice. I people claimed she said things about Tamir Rice. I have not personally heard those things. But she talked, definitely I heard the Ahmaud Arbery situation. Here's what I'm going to say to black men and to anybody listening to me. If these black men follow Candace Owens, I don't want to hear another thing about criminal justice reform or about the police. And y'all know me, I'm team blue. I'm not afraid of the cops. I'm just saying with these men, if they follow Candace, like they followed Kevin Samuels, even though Kevin Samuels, they said, was a cheerleader and, he was this and he was that when he was alive. And as soon as the rhetoric turned in their favor, it didn't matter. If black men en masse start following Candace Owens, I don't want to hear anything about social justice reform. I don't want to hear anything about qualified immunity. I don't want to hear anything about the cops. I don't want to hear it. So Pink Orchid is saying it's really sad hearing her misquote about welfare. She ran in BW circles when she first started YouTube. She's a dangerous woman. She's going against every value she was listening. Yeah. Yeah. She knows exactly what she's doing. She does. She's smart. I will give her that. She is smart. She is a masterclass in communication. She is a masterclass in monkey branching. Definitely. Now, again, I hope that as she's been making all this money, that she's been saving her money and she's been investing her money, because at some point the merry-go-round is going to stop and, she's still going to have bills to pay. And she's got 3 kids now, but J. Antoinette is saying, nope, not a word. Um, yeah. Uh, True Mystique is learning Linux. Hey, how are y'all making money? She's just catering to people who feel disenfranchised. This is true. But they're going to waste their time listening to her instead of investing in themselves. Absolutely. Which is why I want you ladies to not get distracted. Do not get distracted. Whatever money making thing you are doing, be on it, because 2039, 2040 is going to be here before you know it. We had our conversation last week. That is the year, 2039 is the year that they're expected to have more deaths than births in the United States. And at that point, we are going to start losing a lot of social programs. Y'all already know DEI is going away. And this is another thing about Candace Owens. Candace Owens is anti DEI. Candace Owens is anti DEI. That means all the programs that you want to take that are geared towards Black women or Black people, take them now. If you need to get your kids into something, get them into it now. There's going to come a point pretty soon where that cannot be something just for Black people, something just for Black women. It's coming. And she is in favor of it. So while all of these people are running behind her, drooling, these are the things that she believes in. Now, I called it last year, since y'all been listening to me, probably year before last, since y'all been listening to me, that these things are starting to go away. They're starting to go away. But True Mystique, I am so proud of you learning Linux. Oh, that's mean on earth. Yes, she is just an entertainer. She is not a politician and she is not an activist. Here's the thing. I would appreciate her more if she were a journalist or an influencer like a Tucker Carlson or a Sean Hannity. Because here's the thing. Sean Hannity and Donald Trump, for example, they spoke practically every day. Donald Trump would tell Sean Hannity things, and guess what? Sean Hannity would tell Donald Trump things. We need somebody, whether it's Trump or Biden, whomever is in the White House, that's not only like passing messages down, quote unquote, to us, but also helping to set legislation up that we would benefit from. And that's not Candace Owens. It's not her. It's not her. Yeah, she's a distraction from improving your economic situation when the economy is going to crap. She is. This whole weekend was a distraction. We've studied the book Indistractable. I kind of feel like we need to dust it off again for the second quarter. We need to dust it off. Like, we're going to have to be focused. And here's the thing. When Kevin Samuels was alive during the last, was it 2 years of his life that he really blew up, he sucked the oxygen out of Black social media. I don't want you to be in that space. I want you to be aware. I want you to be aware, but I don't want you so sucked in that you miss out on your economic destiny and your economic blessings. And that's why we're having a conversation tonight. I hope everybody is liking the video as well. People are just going to agree with her talking points. They're just going to complain how many of these people are actually going to improve their economic situations. Very few people. Very few, if any. Oh, Nia, yes, absolutely. She panders to Black men. Doesn't she call for them to get married and be accountable for their reproduction? Many of them don't like to hear that. Well, but they like to see her. So this is actually a good spot for me to share this here. Okay, this is from Jason Black, the Black Authority. He has people call in and, talk about whatever the topic of the day is. And there was a guy that called in, and he's not the only one. I was listening to Black men all weekend because I was kind of like listening to like in and out of a lot of different podcasts. Men that were married, men that were single, men that were older, men that were younger. And they were all practically saying the same thing about Candace Owens. So let's listen to this guy who called up.
Just you go find somebody your age. Get that Maria Bartiromo woman up there. Y'all
So this is Jason Black, and then he's going to announce the caller.
two side by side, that's good. Susan's gone wild. That's good right there. Call him area code 832. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yo, Jay out of Houston, Texas. What's going on, Jason?
Jay out of Houston, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I mean, my only argument with you would be that I think she still has a lane, man. I mean, with the conservative group that she has, with the fresh and fit crowd, and the people that she can pay out, I mean, she still has a lane, man. I mean, she could probably fit into the, like you said before, if she has the money, she can get the Roland Martin crowd. She can get the fresh and fit crowd. She can get that fat Jason Whitlock crowd. She can get anybody that is willing to sell themselves out to their audience. They can get the crowd for her. You know, you get what I'm saying?
Here's the issue I have with that rationale. She's already got them. It isn't like Fresh and Fit debuted Candace Owens to their audience. The audience already knows who she is.
Keep listening, ladies. Keep listening. All right? Because he's basically saying she's already got this crowd, and listen to what this guy is going to say and what his rebuttal is.
So you pick up audience members from folks who don't really know you or are not familiar with you. Jason Whitlock's audience, I mean, he's a professional coon. They already know. His audience already knows who she is. These other folks, their audiences already know who she is. So it's not like she's being debuted to people who don't know her. So that's why I would be skeptical to think that that particular strategy is going to work. You're preaching to people who already know you and are already converted. You're not talking to people who don't know you and aren't converted. You're talking to folks who already know you. So she would have to come over on our side or something, and that's not going to work. And she can show up on the Breakfast Club, but she's not peeling off any eyeballs there, except for the Mama's Boys manga niggas like the clown who got off the phone earlier.
Okay. I hope this was the guy that I wanted you all to hear. I think I might have messed up. Oh, yeah. I think I messed it up. Let's see here.
I suggest you go find somebody your age. Get that Maria Bartiromo woman up there.
Okay. For some reason, we're going to have to forward this. I wanted you all to hear this guy.
By her base. So that is something important for her to do. You know, she's getting her name out there more, showing up in more places. What she's trying to show is that she's willing to talk to other people outside of strictly political spheres. That's what she's trying to do. Okay, that's smart, but that will only have a limited appeal. Let's talk about the money. The majority of her money was coming from Daily Wire. Let's be very clear about that. That was the deal that she struck. The majority of her money was coming from them. Her YouTube monetization is going to be iffy at best. You've got Rolling Stone and CNN calling you an anti-Semite, damn it. How long, even if she is monetizing right now, and I don't know if she is or isn't, I don't know if she can or can't, but if she is, you got all these mainstream outlets calling you anti-Semitic, oh, there goes your monetization. There goes that. You got this rabbi out here with a grudge against you. Okay, there goes that. So I don't think she can count on YouTube in that regard. She has her website. Okay, great. So she's obviously trying to set up to go the Steven Crowder route, because Crowder has a pretty rabid following that supports him very into the tens of millions of dollars. Okay, fine. I think she's a little too stiff to be able to pull that one off. And she's streaking towards 40 like a bug on a windshield on.
Okay, yeah, like Jason Black is team too much. I wanted you all to hear this guy. I thought I had it queued up right, but apparently I didn't. Well, anyway, let me just tell you what the guy said. So he's like, yeah, I think she's still pretty. I mean, I know she says a lot of messed up stuff, but I think she's still pretty. And He didn't say I want to sleep with her, but that's basically what he was saying. I would still hit it. Is she gonna open up an OnlyFans? If she has an OnlyFans, and I'd pay membership for that, you know. So yes, there are men who think she's pretty, and she is pretty. She is very pretty. She's leveled up her look, all of that. She's thin. She's the aesthetic that they claim they want, etc. So yeah. And will she be the next Kevin Samuels? Yes. Yes, she will. If she is looking to have a Black audience, there's not enough money in Black politics. She had, the last several months of her Daily Wire career, she was talking about relationships. She was talking about feminists. She was talking about Ariana Grande messing with a married man. She was talking about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce and the pop culture stuff that was happening. Yes. Yeah. So, buckle up. Buckle up to come into Black America and suck the air out of Black social media like Kevin Samuels did for 2 years. She won't be able to sustain it forever. But don't count her husband out. She did say on the Breakfast Club she married her IQ. She said that she reads a lot. She said that she wants to, have conversations with her husband. She talks about Black America 40% of the time on her show. I would imagine she talks about Black America to her husband. So now they're looking at ways to come and extract resources from the community. Can't do that with Black politics. You can do that under the guise of we're here to put the Black family back together. And pandering to the conservative Black man, or the man who feels like they want to be conservative. And just enough divester women to make it count. Yeah. So I'm going to read what you all are saying, and we're going to head on out of here. So funny thing is, she promotes traditional women, but she gives boss babe energy. Nothing about her is meek and mild. How are you pregnant rolling up to somebody's house? So if you all don't know what True Mystique is talking about, she was like, had to have been 6-7 months pregnant. And she was doing her BLM documentary, Black Lives Matter documentary. And she went to the founder of BLM, one of their houses, and was like, I'm Candace Owens. I'm here to interview you, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, she does get boss babe energy. She certainly does. She certainly does. She's cosplaying femininity. So when is she home to take care of her husband and children? The math ain't mathin'. That's the truth. Hey, Bryant's Tax. Good to see you. She says she's anti-feminism. However, she is a feminist. She is absolutely a feminist. She is absolutely a feminist. I didn't know she was in BWE either. You're saying here, right, she never claimed to be a trad wife, but when is she not working? She is always working. The woman always has something going on. Will DEI not be available through nonprofits too? Probably not. Probably not. Isn't her husband worth 100 million? Why can't he put her on a platform? He could. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that I will say about this. Just because the internet says that somebody is worth a certain amount of money doesn't mean that they're actually worth that amount of money. That's number one. I never trust the internet with that. Number two, just because somebody is worth, quote unquote, $100 million doesn't mean they have $100 million cash. Now, where she monkey branched right is her husband has a network of people. This is why I say who the father of your children with is the most important financial decision you will ever make. She monkey branched in the right way that through his network, she could leverage his network to do whatever she needs to do. But the truth is, we are talking about people who could, for $20,000, which is to us a lot of money, but to her, no money at all, she could set up a whole new wing of her household or the basement. She could set it up where it is soundproofed. She could buy some microphones. She could spray paint, or not spray paint. She could paint the wall, and she could she could be podcasting tomorrow. Like, I mean, and of course I'm being facetious with tomorrow, but come on, you know, it, she the only reason I could think that people like Candace Owens or people like Shannon Sharp at Club Shay Shay, the only reason I could think of they would want to join a network, that these people are so desperate to join a network, is either because it gives them access to guests that they wouldn't normally have, or it gets them some sort of infrastructure that they wouldn't normally have. Because look, I mean, I'm live streaming with you all now. Thank you to everybody who's here tonight with a microphone and a webcam and a StreamYard account. It ain't that serious. So, the original BW YouTuber that Candace donated to made an entire video on birth control access for Black women and did a video on how Kevin Samuels was hateful to Black women. If Candace becomes the new Kevin, her mentor might be upset and give her a visit. Oh, well, look. He is absolutely misogynistic. Yes, Jason Black is absolutely misogynistic. But a lot of there were men who were calling into his program and saying crazy stuff. And of course, this is the internet, but there were some men who called in and said, yeah, I think she's pretty. I'm going to follow her. I don't care what she said about Black men, etc. And there are other men who said, I'll never follow Candace Owens. And I tell you, I don't believe them. I believe they will be incognito in their other YouTube account, listening to Candace Owens, super chatting her or donating to her, etc., saying, get these Black women together, these single baby mothers listening to Sexy Red and Lizzo, etc., etc. So, I think Black men probably respect her more since she has a white husband, and is it an option for them like forbidden fruit? It's interesting. I hadn't thought about it like that. Oh, you're saying here she donated to the original Swirler. Really? This video was still up on YouTube. It's very cruel to take a Black woman talking points that were made to help and use them against other Black women. Wow. I didn't know about this. But yeah, she is very beautiful. Yeah. Quiet as is kept, although Black men resent her for her views and her husband, they very much respect her and Black women like her. Very true. This is why I said she's new to Kevin Samuels. She said she's going to be back in 2 weeks. That's why I put the coming soon in my thumbnail. Coming soon. The new Kevin Samuels. Now, is she going to start off as Kevin Samuels? No. But is she going to morph into it? Yep. Yep. Y'all just remember, Cousin Cherie said it. She goes to work more than her husband. She's very feminist, no matter what she says. Yeah, she is very feminist. And here's the thing, Black women cannot afford, I understand like the fourth wave of feminism, some of the crazy stuff that's out there, I'm with you. But first wave of feminism, Black women cannot afford, we cannot afford to be pushed back to such a patriarchy. We can't afford it. So we have to be careful what we're rooting for. I know so many of us want a soft life and all of that. We're tired of working. Our mothers worked, our grandmothers worked, our great grandmothers worked. I'm just saying to you, it's dangerous. Some of this rhetoric that's happening out here is dangerous. It's dangerous. And a whole lot of people online saying one thing to you and doing something opposite. They're doing the opposite. You're saying you will not be tuning in. Miss Traditional, but we hear from her more than her husband. Yeah, her husband is not really in the limelight, which is fine. Look, there are some strong men that are behind the scenes, so I don't have a problem with that. It's just, I felt her saying she married her IQ was a little shady. Yeah, it was shady. And I don't have a problem with her saying she married her IQ. More of us need to marry our IQ. This is where the divestors are going to come in and start listening to her, because she is right. You are supposed to marry your IQ. You're supposed to marry your socioeconomic equal. So many of us don't marry our socioeconomic equal. And then we end up in bad relationships and wonder why we're in those bad relationships. Now, as the new Kevin Samuels, when she has a whole bunch of Black men in her audience and a whole bunch of incel men in her audience of all races, is she going to tell the women in her audience in front of all of those men, you should marry your IQ? That's going to be the real testament. In front of all the men that she starts, because she's probably going to have an 80-20 split, women versus men, 70-30, let's say. When she's talking to the women and all of those men are listening, is she still going to tell the women you should marry your IQ? Or is she going to tell you to settle? Hashtag new Kevin Samuels. Because I think she's going to tell you to settle. She married her IQ, but she's going to tell you to settle. She's still the ultimate distraction. I'm saying that as well. To all of you ladies, don't let her distract you. The Fed came out last week and said interest rates probably aren't going down until the fall. There are probably going to be 3 interest rate cuts this year, but interest rates may not go down until late summer, early fall. We got a lot going on in the economy. You better get your resources together, because it's about to get crazy here. When do we ever see her kids? I don't blame her for not putting her kids on social media. If I were a public person like her, I wouldn't put my kids on social media either. So I'm going to bypass some of the things you all are saying, just because it's time for me to get to bed. Dawn Earth is saying, this discussion makes me feel like the BC is in the lower level of the sunken place. I'm definitely keeping my head in the books this year. We are. Overall. Not on this channel, but overall, yes. We're really going to need that 40 acres and a mule now. Her husband's father is worth 100 million. The son is not worth that much. His father is political. Okay, that's what I thought. It was the family that was worth a lot of money. The father is was in the House of Lords or something like that over in the UK. So yeah. And look, sometimes that old money is not liquid. Sometimes that old money is in real estate and stuff like that. That's not liquid. So just be careful about that. But she definitely did monkey branch her way into access. She did. So, I don't like how she's trying to close the gate for the rest of us to monkey branch. Why are they so adamant about closing the gates? Well, that's a great question. Um, they are adamant because they feel like there can only be one, which is why I said, earlier on, be careful of Black women, these Black women that try to entice you into getting into troublesome spots, things like that. You can monkey branch. You should monkey branch. That's why this channel is so important. I want you monkey branching. I want you changing jobs, for example, every 2 to 4 years, depending on the kind of industry that you're in. If you're not making another $20,000 to $25,000 every couple of years, something is wrong. We have the monkey branch. You should be marrying up socioeconomically, or at least upper middle class. If you're upper middle class, he should be upper middle class. We should be monkey branching. We should be. So, yeah, well, people will definitely kick the ladder. People will kick the ladder down, out from under you. Okay, let's have a conversation about this. The first wave was E. Katie Stanton, who was racist. Here's the thing. And I'm glad you brought this up, and I was going to do another live stream about this. I don't care who's racist in the past. I don't care. And I'm not saying this against you, Tuesday. I'm just saying this overall. I don't care who was racist in the past. They started something, they started feminism, and that was racist. Or the suffrage groups of the 1920s kept Black women out. I respect history, but it sometimes seems like we have these conversations and everything is racist, plantation, and it's meant to get our eyes off of the ball. Margaret Sanger, for example, Margaret Sanger and abortion. Everybody in the Black community, Margaret Sanger was racist. And we can admit that she was. However, we now have certain people in legislation that when you have a child in you that is not viable, they will not give you access to the medical treatment that you need. Sometimes we have to put aside this person was racist and say, no, we still need certain medical help. The first wave of feminism was started by someone who's racist. I don't care. I still benefit from it. And it just, sometimes these words are meant to sting us so much that when people say that we are over emotional, these people are doing things on purpose, including Candace Owens, are saying things to us on purpose. Putting these words in like plantation and slavery and things like that on purpose to get a rile out of us. So if the first wave of feminism was racist, I don't care. I benefit from it. I can understand historically where it was, and I'm just like, okay. When we talk about being distracted, I don't want these words, especially racism, slavery, plantation. For the men, it's feminism. It knocks us off our game. And we're going to do a whole live stream on that because I think it's important. And there is nothing wrong with marrying your IQ. With advancements in AI, we may be seeing her with her kids much more. It's possible. It's possible, but I'm for protecting the kids. And I remember she showed her oldest son, and I remember people said that individuals said such ugly things about her son in the comment section that she never posted her kids again. So, hey, Makai, yeah, she's going to tell Black women to settle. Absolutely, when she didn't. She did not settle. Um, she's going to get her bag. Yep. She doesn't have to post their face. I mean, there's no indicator that motherhood is actually important to her. I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to say that. I will say she works like she got bills. Like like Diamond Dave said, the woman works like she got hella bills. So okay, so it was Brooklyn Blue that Candace donated to at the end. Interesting. Interesting. Well, I'll tell you that Brooklyn Blue was a trailblazer on the internet. She really was. So you'll also say the job market is foul. Get those skills and multiple streams of income. Yeah. Otherwise, Candace will be walking away with a whole bunch of money and you'll be left having problems. You'll be left with problems. Um, let's see here. If a man has owed money, he can avoid child support completely by not working and living off his inheritance. I don't think her husband is that type, though. He seems like a hard worker. Yeah. Look, the only thing I know about George Farmer, that's her husband, George Farmer, is when they were trying to sell Kanye that failing app, Parlor. You all remember that? On this channel, we looked at an interview that he did with Maria Bartiromo over at Fox Business, and her husband is he is as sneaky as she is. Let's just say that. He is as sneaky as she is. So I think they're two peas in a pod. This is why you said watch out for women too. The YouTuber said don't have crabs in a barrel mentality against other Black women. It's true. There were still Black women who had feminist beliefs at the start of the movement. They did. Understand, but Black women didn't benefit from the first wave is all I'm saying. Yeah, yeah. And I would agree with that. I would agree with, no. I'm going to take it back. I believe, well, I guess let me ask this question and maybe I need to do some more research. What was the wave of feminism where women were able to get their own bank accounts and their own homes without their husbands' names on it? Was it the first wave of feminism or the second wave of feminism? Because that was the wave of feminism that I'm most appreciative of. I've told you all this story before on this channel that my mother was telling me that she had money, she had her own job. It was like the late 70s. She wanted to buy a car, and this was the late 70s. The car dealer said, "No, I won't sell it to you. You have to go home and get your husband." And my mother had to come home and get my dad in order to go with her down to the car dealership to buy a car with her money. Like, that's the wave of feminism I'm most grateful for. So, okay, y'all are saying this is the second wave. And you're saying Black women are benefiting from the first wave now. Yeah. If that's the second wave of feminism, then that's the wave that I'm appreciative of. So, second wave is when women were able to get our own stuff. First wave, Black women were in the same spot, so we got nothing from it. Okay. Well, look, let's be honest. If it wasn't for white women fighting for the first wave of feminism, there probably wouldn't have been a second wave of feminism. So, sometimes you got to ride the wave with other people. Doesn't mean you don't look out for yourself. You're always looking out for yourself, but we have to be honest about the trailblazers that came before us, and put things in historical context. So, all right, ladies, well, that is it for me. Beware of the new Kevin Samuels forthcoming. Her name is Candace Owens. Uh, the future is female, you know. Hit the like button on the way out, and I will see you ladies on the next video. Take care. Night.